Josh worked 47 and 2/10 hours in 1 week. If he gets paid $13.82 per hour, how much will he make in a week? Round to the nearest hundreds. All right, so if we're looking at this, right, we know that this gives us he gets paid 13.82 per hour. That's basically my each, right? If I'm using my get, right, that's going to be my each. It'll be 13.82. And then the groups is a 47 and 2/10 hours because right the groups will tell you how much your total is going to be. And so for my total, right, whenever I'm looking for my total, this is a multiplication problem. So the part of understanding what kind of problem it is, it's multiplication. Now remember when we set up our problem to multiply between the two numbers, we don't look at where our decimal place is. We don't look at place value. We just look at the number of digits. We want the number with the greatest number, the value with the greatest number of digits to be first. So that's the $13.82. And we're going to put the 47.2 underneath, and we're going to multiply that out. Now, notice I did not line up my decimals at all, and we're going to kind of ignore the decimals until after I do my multiplication. So I did the multiplication, and so 13.82 times 47.2. Now, a couple things I want to point out to you real quick. So when I look at it, you see these blue zeros here? Remember, anytime I move over, like I did my 2, and then I moved over place value, I need to add that 0 because we're moving that's a place value holder. And we're moving over a place value. And you can see as my last one, I have 2 zeros because I moved over 2 place values. Because I moved over 1, 2. And that's why I have to have 2 zeros. Now, my answer, of course, if that was my answer, 652,304, that would be great to make that kind of money every week. But of course, that's not the answer, right? We got to remember our decimal place. And the way we figure out our decimal place is by looking to see how many place values I have in my original factors, in my numbers that I'm multiplying. And you can see that I have 3 place values after the 0. I have hundredths and tenths, right? And so thinking about that, hundredths and tenths, if I multiply 100 times 10, that would give me thousands. And so I need to move my place value 3 times. Another way is looking at 1, 2, 3 place values. So remember, my decimal always starts all the way to the right. If there's no decimal place, and you don't see a decimal in your product, it's always on the far right. Now I'm going to move it 3 units to the left, 3 place values to the left. 1, 2, 3. And so my answer is 652 and 0.304. Now, it says here to round to the nearest hundreds, which of course is money, right? So we got to round to the nearest hundreds. So my answer is $652.30. $652.30.